On Overdrive this week, we have Honda's prices, positioning and plans. Everything you need to know about the new Honda Amaze. A quick drive of the Nissan Sunny Automatic. And our regular dose of Auto Selector and this week's motoring news. Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I'm Shireen Bhan. We've got a power-packed 30 minutes lined up for you, but let's start the show with the big launch of the week. Yes, you guessed it right. We're talking about the Honda Amaze. Now, just last week, we took you for a first drive of Honda's latest launch, but on this week's show, we talk about its positioning and its pricing. We now know that it has been priced on par with its stiffest competitor, the Maruti Dzire, so we find out if the Honda Amaze is really worth your while.
When the Honda Amaze was launched earlier this week, the excitement and tension in the air was palpable. Faced with a strong customer preference for diesel engines and without any diesel cars in its Indian portfolio, Honda has had a difficult time over the past few years. But once the prices were announced, there were smiles all around. With 6 petrol and 4 diesel variants, including 2 automatic petrols, the Amaze's prices range from 4.99 lakhs ex-showroom for the entry petrol variant to 7.6 lakhs for the fully loaded diesel. Pricing that pits the car directly against Maruti's best-selling Dzire.
What we can see clearly is that the Amaze is just about 10,000 rupees more expensive than the Maruti Suzuki, the Swift Dzire. At 10,000 rupees, what you get is a much larger car in terms of cabin space. There's a lot more space inside the Amaze's cabin than in the Dzire. And of course, there's that fuel efficiency bit. ARAI claims 25.8 kmph for the Amaze at the moment. We've tested the Dzire and that's at about 17.5 to 18 kmpl on an average, or rather an overall efficiency figure. So even if you had to test the Amaze, I'm assuming that figure would drop down to about 21 or 22, which still is significantly better, much stronger than what the Dzire can offer. So yes, on paper, those are the two selling points that will help the Amaze move up the ladder, or rather give that extremely tough fight to the Maruti Dzire.
Both the Amaze and Dzire are less than 4 meters in overall length. And that combined with the engine capacities below 1.2 litre for petrol and 1.5 litre for diesel offers both manufacturers excise duty breaks in India, allowing them to be more aggressive with pricing. But while the Dzire is the Amaze's most formidable rival, it will also vie for your attention with a number of other entry sedans, old and new, below 4 meters and above. There's the recently refreshed Toyota Etios, the Mahindra Verito, the Ford Fiesta Classic, and even the Tata Indigo Manza.
This is going to open up a whole new segment of buyers and who are looking specifically at Honda for something like the Amaze. I don't think so. What this will do is basically skew the consumers from Maruti, from Mahindra's Verito, from Tata's Indigo Manza, from Toyota's Etios. They'll now bring them to the Honda family. So this is what Honda will do. It is going to act. The Amaze is going to act like a magnet. It's going to draw all these consumers who are looking at the other competitors in the market. They're going to draw them to themselves.
Team Overdrive has had 2 shots at driving the Amaze. The first, a few quick laps of Honda's Fuji test track behind the wheel of the prototype car in Japan last year, and the second during our extended test drive in Goa earlier this month. And on both occasions, we came away very impressed indeed with Honda's 1.5 litre ID.Tech diesel engine that produces over 100 PS of power. So what are Honda's plans for the engine and its product portfolio in India? I spoke to Honda Car India's President and CEO Hironori Kanayama to find out. Congratulations on the big launch for a small compact car, but a car that's been very hotly anticipated ever since we did our first drives of the prototype almost 6 months ago. But tell me, what are you anticipating in terms of demand? I know there's been a lot of inquiries already. Are you confident that your sales system as well as the factory is working overtime to fulfill all the demand that's going to happen?
Well, I think at present we can make it, but I have not grasped the exact figure of the booking. So there may be some delay, or there can be some delay in the delivery.
Now, typically we hear stories of manufacturers looking at 80% diesel, 20% petrol for vehicles. What is the ratio that Honda is working with at the moment, petrol to diesel for the Amaze?
As you said, the market is about 20 to 80%. So I think that should be around that figure in our case.
You've brought the diesel engine into the Amaze now. And going forward, is it now going to be a case of City, CRV, and Accord, and of course the Brio also getting diesel engines?
Well, we don't plan to have a diesel model on the current City, but in the future it will, and other model as well.
And I know you have your plans for a new Jazz that will set to come in as well, and that will then of course spawn the new City. So going forward, are all new models, including possibly the compact SUV that we've heard talk about, all of those will have diesel engines engineered in from the beginning?
When we come up with a new model, I think we are going to have both petrol and diesel model as well. But I can't tell exactly how soon, because we are still at the preparation stage.
From what you've told us today as well, you're also anticipating a lot of first-time buyers, if you will, to come into the Honda family, and a lot of inquiries and interest from tier 2, tier 3 cities. So what have you done in terms of expanding the sales network and the service network to help service these customers better and give them a true Honda experience?
Well, we have about 150 dealerships in less than 100 cities. But next year it's going to be over 160 and in 105 cities. But India is such a vast market, vast country, so therefore we will have more frequent the service camp to help us to serve the customers where we don't have any outlets.
So there will be service camps happening in towns and cities, for example, where you don't have outlets, so that customers will get their service and everything taken care of.
And yes, and so that we can get the full satisfaction with Honda's car.
We know you've worked a lot towards localizing both the parts and everything else that goes into the Amaze, but what can customers expect in terms of cost of service and cost of spares for this car in particular?
Due to the higher localization, the production cost of the Amaze has been drastically reduced. Therefore, first, the advantage we can supply to customers is competitive pricing of car as well as spare parts.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and we look forward to seeing just how the Amaze does, and we look for customer feedback we can pass on to you as well.
Thank you. I anticipate it, and I hope we can meet very soon again.
Well, that's everything that you need to know about the Honda Amaze, and we will track how it does in the marketplace on an upcoming episode of Overdrive. On that note, it's time for us to take a break. When we return, Bert answers your questions on Auto Selector, and we wrap up everything else that's making news in the auto world.